Mr. Kazmark, will you call the meeting to order, please?
Mayor, I'd like to call the regular meeting of the Elmwood Park Mayor and Council for December 18th, 2008 to order. On roll call, council members Catamagna.
Present.
Castiglia.
Here.
Conboy.
Here.
McLaughlin.
Here.
Pellegrin is absent. Cherwinski.
Here.
Mayor Mola.
Mrs. Pellegrin is absent. She is in the hospital. She has taken some tests. Hopefully she'll be released tomorrow. It's too bad she's missing her last meeting for the year, but hopefully she'll be better and return to the council for another meeting if we ever need another meeting. Will everyone please stand for our prayer and flag salute? Oh God, our Father, we ask you to bless our meeting with we trust you, fatherly care and protection. Please remove all selfishness and prejudice from our hearts and plant therein a keen sense of justice and a greater love for you and our neighbor. Guide us in our deliberations so our decisions will always please you and bring peace and happiness to our community. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Whereas Chapter 231, the Public Laws, State of New Jersey, requires the commencement of every meeting as stated by the presiding officer. Now therefore be advised, the meeting requirements of this meeting have been met by posting an annual notice in the Record of Hackensack and the Herald News of West Patterson, shortly Woodland Park, and by posting such notice in the office of the Borough Clerk as well as in the public place within the municipal building, and by posting or notifying interested citizens. Said notice was posted on January 1, 2008.
Mayor, tonight on the agenda, we have minutes from the executive session of November 6, 2008, the regular meeting of December 4th, 2008, and the executive session meeting minutes of December 11th, 2008.
May I have a motion for all three, please?
So moved.
Moved by Mr. McLaughlin, second by, I'm sorry, who?
Yep.
Mr. Conboy. Any discussion?
Also, excuse me, Mayor.
Yes.
On the committee report that I mentioned to Ms. Conboy, I think there's a misunderstanding here. I said that
This at what
Mr.
meeting?
Ellie, this is on the agenda on December 4th.
Okay.
Mr. Ellie, the only thing he told me was that his kids were not invited. He didn't say that he was not there, whatever. That's what I said. So I guess nothing important, just, you know.
Okay.
Nothing really.
Call a roll, please.
On roll call, council members Catamagna.
Yes.
Castiglia.
Yes.
Conboy.
Yes.
McLaughlin.
Yes.
Pellegrin is absent. Cherwinski. Yes. Motion carries. Mayor, on the consent agenda tonight, we have Resolution 33608, which is a transfer resolution. Resolution 33708, which is Emergency Chapter 159. This is for the Pandemic Influenza Infra Preparedness Grant. We have Resolution 33808, which is payment of bills, and I would call the council's attention to what was in their folders tonight, which is an add-on to the bill list for Smith Sondy Asphalt Construction. This is for payment for the 2007 road program in the amount of $279,145.08. So we'd like to add that on to Resolution 33808. Resolution 339 is the confirmation of checks. Resolution 34008 is confirmation of payroll. Resolution 34108 is to approve official check registers. Resolution 34208 is to refund the road opening permit for Terra Nova. Resolution 34308 is a refund cash performance bond Frank Fasolo for the amount of $500. Resolution 34408 is to refund the recreation account for soccer. Resolution 34508 is to redeem third-party tax lien for Robert Del Vecchio. Resolution 34608 is to authorize the South Bergen Fire Chiefs Mutual Aid Agreement. And Resolution 34708 is to authorize to sign the animal control contract for the year 2009 with the County of Bergen.
Motion, please.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. McLaughlin, second. Mr. Conboy. Any discussion on any of these?
I have a question, Mayor. 34708. I thought it was less than that. I thought they were talking about 27,000.
7.
Is that what it was?
Through you, Mayor?
Yes.
Okay, the amount varies, Councilman, based on how many pickups of animals, both alive and deceased, that need to be done during the course of the year. So we did a not to exceed in case there are additional animals that need to be over what we paid this year. I know at the work meeting last week, we had a discussion about the possibility of using Garfield. Debbie Ritchie, our health officer, and Scott Karts investigated that. Actually, Garfield subs out to a separate contractor who has a farm in Ringwood. And there were some questions about what they could and what they could not provide to the borough.
This was the cheaper company, right?
This was the cheaper company, but again, we weren't getting the same services that will be getting from the county of Bergen.
Well, if they are qualified, they say we don't get the same service?
It's not the same services, no. There are certain things that the county provides that this second company would not be able to provide.
They just pick up dead animals.
No,
there's
Frank,
certain-
some of the animals like deer they don't pick up was in there. I went through the report with Debbie and Scott, some things they don't even do. So we're left out. If God forbid we have a dead deer, we'd have nobody to pick them up. But there's other animals too that were involved. I'm just saying, it was
I think we tried to save about
Yeah, it was
$5,000.
about
wasn't it?
5,000 to 7,000, I thought we said.
$7,000. So how many deer do we have in our?
No, it's not even that. There's other things that we haven't seen the site where they keep them. We don't even know how these animals are being treated. Some of the ones that they go where they put their live animals, like if they find some stray ones, they take them too. We haven't seen any of that. We haven't seen their facilities.
And through the mayor also, we've also checked out some references for other municipalities that use them, and there were some questions that the other municipalities had who are currently using them and possibly seeking to discontinue that contract and find another provider.
All right. Thank you.
If I can just add my 2 cents in that.
I know I started, Mayor.
Now, there are the Bergen County Animal Shelter. If somebody loses a pet and it's picked up by the animal shelter, they'll keep it there for a longer period of time before the pet is put down. You go to a new place like this and they don't have the facility, they'll keep it a couple of weeks or something, then they put the pet down. So it's always been better to have them there.
Not always with the same service, you know. Same
Well, that's why we investigated it.
It would be no brainer if it was apples to apples.
I mean, it's $7,000.
Call the roll, please.
On roll call, council members Catamagna.
Yes.
Castiglia.
Yes.
Conboy.
Yes.
McLaughlin.
Yes.
Pellegrin is absent. Truinsky.
Yes, this is the consent agenda, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
On resolutions tonight, we have Resolution 34808, be it resolved by the mayor and council of the Borough of Elmwood Park that the following change order number 1 is hereby approved. Contractor is Stacy Contracting Incorporated of Clifton, New Jersey. Contract number EP-1100. The project is the sanitary sewer extension. The original contract bid price was $815,241. There have been no previous change orders. This change order is a reduction of $74,500, making the new contract price $740,741.00.
Motion, please.
So moved.
Mr. Castiglia, Mr. Chewinski, discussion? Call the roll, please.
Council members Catamagna.
Yes.
Castiglia.
Yes.
Conboy.
Yes.
McLaughlin.
Yes.
Pellegrin is absent. Truinsky.
Yes.
Motion carries. Resolution 34908, be it resolved by the mayor and council of the Borough of Elmwood Park that the following change order number 9 and final is hereby approved. Contractor is PM Construction Corp., 1310 Central Avenue in Hillsdale. Contract EMWD 00610, Project River Drive Water Main Improvements. Original contract bid price was $2,176,410. Approved change orders thus far, $468,366.41. Current change order, $3,996.43. Total adjusted amount of contract, $2,648,772.84. And if I may, Mayor, I'd just like to point out to the council that this does in fact, for a second time, exceed the threshold for change orders. We will be required to advertise this and advise the Division of Local Government Services in Trenton so that we are in compliance with state statute. However, this is the last change order and this encompasses all of the final payment.
Motion, please. Thank you.
So moved.
Chewinski, second.
Second.
Mr. Castiglia, discussion?
Yeah. Keith, can I ask you a question? This is the second one on the same project, right?
Right.
That went over to 20%?
Yes,
Okay. We hope it's the last, right?
correct.
Call the roll, please.
Council members Catamania?
Yes.
Castiglia?
Yes.
Conboy?
Yes.
McLaughlin?
Yes.
Pellegrini is absent. Truinsky.
Yes.
Motion carries. Resolution 35008, be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park, the following change order number 3 and final is hereby approved. Contractor is CRJ Contracting, 1340 South Avenue in Plainfield, contract number EMWD-00610. Project is Martha Avenue Sewer Main Replacement. Original contract bid price, $594,343.60. Approved change orders to date, $84,000. Total for this change order is a reduction of $48,323.84 for a total adjusted amount of the contract of $630,019.76.
Motion, please.
So moved.
Mr. Chouwinski, second. Mr. Castiglia, discussion? Call the roll, please.
Council members Catamania?
Yes.
Castiglia?
Yes.
Conboy?
Yes.
McLaughlin?
Yes.
Pellegrini is absent. Truinsky.
Yes.
Motion carries. Resolution 35108, whereas the superintendent of the DPW issued discipline against a DPW member, and whereas the DPW member grieved the discipline and filed for binding arbitration with the Public Employment Relations Commission under PERC, document number AR 2008-817, and whereas an arbitrator was appointed to hear the grievance and issue an award that would be binding on both parties. And whereas the arbitrator met with the parties and negotiated a settlement, which is attached here too, on November 20th, 2008, and whereas the settlement of the matter is in the best interest of the borough. Now therefore be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park, do ratify the terms of the settlement dated November 20th, 2008.
Motion, please.
So moved.
Mr. Castiglia,
Second.
Mr. Chouwinski, discussion? Call the roll.
Council members Catamania?
Yes.
Castiglia?
Yes.
Conboy?
Yes.
McLaughlin?
Yes.
Pellegrini is absent. Truinsky.
Yes.
Motion carries. Resolution 35208, whereas a grievance was filed on behalf of a DPW employee by IBT Local 560 in connection with an employee working out of title as a mechanic, and whereas the grievance was presented to an arbitrator under PERC document number AR 2005-635, and whereas the arbitrator issued her decision on August 28, 2008, sustaining the grievance but leaving the remedy to the parties in order to determine the appropriate rate of pay. And whereas the parties met and agreed on an appropriate payment to be made to the affected employee and memorialized same on memorandum dated December 1, 2008, which was agreed upon and signed on December 4, 2008. And whereas the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park have determined that the settlement is in the best interest of the borough and its residents. Now therefore be it resolved that the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park, that the settlement memorandum dated December 1st, 2008 is hereby ratified and confirmed, and the Chief Financial Officer is authorized to issue a check to the affected employee in the amount set forth therein.
Motion, please.
Moved.
Mr. Castiglia, second.
Second.
Mr. Chouwinski, discussion?
I think our borough attorney deserves a lot of credit on this arbitration. I believe Brian was very much a part of it, and we come out very well. Thank you, Brian.
And also on that was Scott Carge, right? Yes.
Yeah, Scott worked hard on it, too.
How come the names cannot be mentioned here in this two resolution?
No, not the names. Scott Carge did a good job on it. That's
Right.
Call the roll. Motion, do I have a motion?
You do.
Yeah, call the roll, please.
Council members Catamania?
Yes.
Castiglia?
Yes.
Conboy?
Yes.
McLaughlin?
Yes.
Pellegrini is absent. Truinsky.
Yes.
Mayor, tonight for reports, we have the Municipal Court Report, Department of Public Works Report, Building Department Report, and Police Department Report.
Motion to receive and file.
Receive and file.
Mr. McLaughlin, second.
Second.
Mr. Chouwinski, discussion? Call the roll. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, so ordered. Mr. Chouwinski, committee report?
Sure. First, I'd like to wish everybody a happy and healthy holiday and New Year. And my best to Lorraine. I hope she turns out all right, whatever happened. Because on a short note for her, she did put a lot of effort into her job here. And who knows, in the future, we might be working with her again. If you notice, there's a bunch of lights out on the streetscape on Market Street. The mayor's been in touch with the mayor's secretary's been in touch with Public Service. There's a list of about 10 of them we're having problems with. But we're constantly calling them to see if they can bring them up to par. The North Street and Franklin Ave drainage issue seems to be getting closer to a resolve due to great help with our borough engineer, who's working diligently with some of the other builders who have put houses there and sort of got them to put some of the drainage in for us. So that'll be a plus for the town and a savings. I was at the school board meeting along with the mayor and Frank, and the mayor reiterated our position on the Lee Street property, that we were still interested through Green Acres funding and the County for Open Space. And we're looking forward to meeting with the school board land committee on that issue. All right, Mayor.
Thank you. Mr. Castiglia?
I too would like to wish a happy holiday to everybody. Merry Christmas. Also with Lorraine, I'd like to say that it was a pleasure working with her. I wish her a lot of luck. And maybe again in the future, we'll see her. All right, as far as the DPW goes, we know it's the winter season we're getting into now, so we're changing over from leaves. It starts snowing already. So be prepared for the potholes. That's something that comes along with winter, with the plow trucks being out in the salt. So they'll be out there patching continuously. They do it all year round anyway, but this is the big season for potholes. So be ready for it. A little patience. The culverts down on Fleischer Brook were cleaned twice this month. That's another thing you want to keep up on too with the winter coming in. The snow, sits there for a while, and then when it melts, it goes down that brook all at once. So they are working on the culverts, keeping them clean. And also, like I said, we're going from leaf season into the snow now. As we get near the end of the leaf season, I got a report, well, we all got the report today. The DPW picked up about 22,000 yards of leaves so far this year to date. So they're out there working right. They'll be out there. There's not really a set schedule when it finishes. They'll go out and make the rounds until they say that there's no more leaves out there. So also just be patient with that. It is starting to snow. We're supposed to get another one tomorrow, a big storm, maybe 2 this weekend. So they're out there working. Be patient with the guys. That's it, Mayor.
Thank you. Mr. Catamani?
Yes, Mayor, the same. I want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays. To all of you also, your families. Hope we be healthy for the year 2009, and I hope the council we get along better than what we did in the past. I have a question for Mr. Cowboy, nothing to do, no arguments. I got a phone call last night from this young man, about 50 years old, not the young guy. I'm 63. The young man, 50 years old. And for the past 20 years, I initiate playing soccer inside the rec center. We used to play from 9 to 11 at night. And they did up to last year. And he asked me what's going on this year. I really don't know. I really should go to sit down on this to see what's going on, if they allow or not, or what do they have to do in order for them to continue playing soccer. They're just the people, residents in Elmwood Park. Nobody's from outside Elmwood Park. I don't know if you have an answer, otherwise maybe I'll go sit down tomorrow.
Well, I would recommend that they go, Mayor, is it okay if I answer?
Sure.
I would recommend they go down to the rec and speak with our rec director or attend January's rec commission meeting. If it's the same group we're talking about, only one gentleman lives in town, the rest are all out-of-towners. They want to come in on Wednesday nights. They've done it for years. They came in when the rec was closed. They worked on just basic skills. There's only one gentleman I spoke with. It's the same gentleman who I spoke with. They just need to require insurance, and we need to, make sure that everything is, which is what the gentleman's been told when he brought it up at a rec commission meeting, I think in October or November.
Let me interrupt you a little bit. Was it Joe Rizzuto we talking about?
Same, yep. We're talking about the same guy. Talking about Joe. I know
In
Joe a
the
long
past,
time.
I'm sorry to, let me, in the past, the only thing they had to require, just a pay fee for the year was so much, I forget what it was, $10, and they used to get an ID. And they used to cover everything. And now the policy changed.
No, you can still get your...
And also, I'm sorry to tell you, most of the people, I know them. They're from Elmwood Park.
Well, then the story's changed. I saw Joe 2 nights ago, and I asked him why he didn't come back, the resident. I asked why he didn't come back and talk to the commission. I asked him to give me some outline of what the program consisted of, and I asked Joe point blank. I said, and these are all men from town? He goes, well, no, Tom. He goes, we're, guys, we're on a traveling soccer team. He goes, we used to be able to do it. The previous director would just let us in, sometimes just open the door for us, and the issue here is talking with our GIF personnel, and I tried to explain this to Joe. I know Joe a long time. His children went to St. Leo's and been part of the St. Leo sports program. I tried to explain to Joe that based on the requirements of letting an outside group, Joe's the only Elmwood Park resident that he told me was the part of the group, that they would require insurance. He said they would get that, and I said then come back to the rec commission and try to obtain your permit. You could always become a member of the rec. I don't believe, I tell you the truth, I'm not sure we let out-of-towners join our membership for our recreation. You know, get a card, get a membership, but you know.
Well, the other guy called me.
They never paid. I asked him that question because he told me they might be looking at spending $5,000, and I said, you're going to spend $5,000? And he said, well, no. He said, that's how much they want us to pay because they don't want us in that gym either. He was going to go rent some other gym, and they threw out some huge amount of money so that.
The gentleman
If I
who
can-
called me was Rosario Gachaguera, and now he's also a resident there, lives on Lee Street.
Oh, you just said it was Joe Rizzuto. I'm sorry.
No.
Yeah.
Thought you said
Rosario
Joe.
No, because Rosario and Joe, they've been playing together. They organize the teams. And Rosario mentioned also Joe's name last time. I know that as far as I know, when I was involved, we used to be residents of Elmwood Park. Nobody else was outside.
Gentlemen, if I can, I think Mr. Conboy made the correct decision by just going down and see the rec director
Yeah.
and have them talk directly to her instead of us.
I think it's a good idea, yes. I
Okay,
agree with that.
thank you. Anything else,
Thank you.
Mr. Catamani?
Nothing else?
Mr.
Thank you.
Conboy?
Yes, Mayor, thank you. Okay, we had to, this past Tuesday was our monthly recreation meeting, and we had quite a fully loaded agenda. Just to give some of the high points. One item that was discussed at the meeting and the commissioners all voted on with two stipulations. Scott Cars cut a holiday evening short festivities that he had with his family to attend. At the same time, he was trying to coordinate the snow as it was falling, so he was doing a lot of duty, appearing in front of the commission and also worrying about the streets. You know, more extra time that he does and gets no overtime for it. So I want to thank Scott for coming out and being patient with the commission. But one of the things that Scott presented to the commission was we're finally going to get, and the commission voted for, putting in an irrigation system on Borough Field so we can begin watering and grow back grass, and we don't have these dirt patches as the season winds down from all the fall sports and so forth. So that's finally going to move forward, and there's two options we're looking at that would be at no cost to the taxpayers. So that's a great new thing to do that had been talked about for a number of years and is now going to come forward and get done. So Scott was there for that. Then also from JIF, Jack, Frank Covavelli came. He did an excellent, brought the commission up to date on any new things. They also spoke about exercise equipment, Mayor, around a walking path and so forth that I know you're working on. But he also went over some broad stroke items with the commission in some areas that they are discussing in their own agendas that they're currently working on into '09. He also wanted the commission to know and the town to know, he gave our rec director very high marks. He said that since she's come on board, she has contacted him several times to ensure that all of our safety measures and our residents are safe as they enter the building, and we're meeting all the proper codes to protect the borough from any type of residents from injuries or any lawsuits that could come from that. So he commended her and gave her high marks for that. I also want to point out to anybody who visits Borough Hall, our rec director also put up a bulletin board here in the hallway as you enter, showing all upcoming events, what's going on at the recreation, pictures of the children of current events that have happened. Tree lighting was very successful. I want to thank everybody who helped with that, the fire department and everybody else who came out to help, and everybody had a great time. And also we are, from a financial standpoint, we are moving forward. We have a lot going on. Our CFO has sent out letters to all of our department heads, a second revised instructions, marching orders per se. And right after the new year, we'll be diving right into our budget and beginning to look at some serious issues that we need to tackle in '09. I also would like to wish everybody a very happy holiday season, and everybody have a safe and happy new year as well. Thank you, Mayor.
Mr. McLaughlin? Thank you.
Tom, if I might add on that soccer league, they need the insurance, but they also need a hold harmless agreement
Sure.
when they do get it. I spoke to Frank Fuseli. I was at a joint insurance meeting last night in Lodi, and Frank was very impressed with the entire rec commission setup. They didn't get out here till 11:30 or so. Midnight. Well, he left 11:30.
Yeah, he left.
And he said, you hold some serious meetings there. But our joint insurance is doing very well. We received a $37,000 dividend this year, and we have a very, very large surplus as opposed to other insurance companies that are commercially funded. This is 22 towns pooling in their premiums, and at the end of the year, keep safety a major factor to keep accidents down and whatever. And we are doing extremely well. I wish everyone a very, very Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. And again, I wish Lorraine well, and I hope she's home tomorrow. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Mr. Giblin?
Just one case I wanted to report on, Mayor, and that is an added assessment that we put on the tax rolls. And it was a property that had been owned by the state, and it was sold to an adjacent property owner. But because the state doesn't use the same numbering system we do with tax lot and blocks, we didn't know about it for 2 years, and we only added it this year. I went down with the tax assessor today. They were challenging the assessment and the fact that we added it on 2 years later. We were upheld today by the tax board, and we will be getting about $20,000 in added assessment taxes from that one property. That's all I have.
Thank you, sir. I'd just like to remind people who are now watching this program, Cablevision, Channel 77, this will be shown on Tuesdays, 2 to 5 p.m., Wednesdays, 11 to 2 p.m., Friday, 12:30 to 3:30 p.m. If you want to watch it on our website, it's www.elmwoodparknj.us. That's www.elmwoodparknj.us, and you can watch the whole program there. I'd like to wish everybody a Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, and a healthy and happy New Year. We're going to be meeting here again on the 1st of January for the swearing in of our new council people and our old council people at 1 p.m. Okay? Excuse me, 12 noon, not 1 p.m., 12 noon. All right? So we have a very sober council meeting that day. I do want to indicate to everyone here and the council that I will be writing, I did mention it to the council before, I will be writing a letter to the Commissioner of Transportation. Since President-elect Obama is proposing some gigantic stimulus packages, we're going to be putting in for the sound barriers. They want a stimulus package that's all ready to go. That's one of them. And I'll be writing him a letter to see if we can get that on the agenda. And I think we should also talk to Scott Cars, our DPW supervisor, and Pete Tenkate from Boswell Engineering, our engineer, see if we can come up with some projects that we can also include in the stimulus package. If we do get word from one of our senators or Congressman Rothman as to do we have anything ready to go, I think we should have something right on the line and move right to it. So I'll also inform the library, just as an indication, not to drag it out too long, but the reason we have the present library is we did get a grant. I know Councilman McLaughlin knows the trouble we went through with that grant. Just to briefly enlighten you on it, and when we tried to get that grant, we had all the plans and everything ready to go. Be aware of this, Mr. Kazmark. But they told us that Elmwood Park was not a city or a community in New Jersey, and we had to go through that whole procedure to find out that, yes, we were East Patterson, now we're Elmwood Park, and we had to call Texas and everything else to get that done. I'm working with Ella Filippone from the Passaic River Coalition. Nothing has happened yet. We're trying to arrange dates for that. This is a very difficult time. And I'm also working with the Passaic Valley Sewer Commission, their water project, to see if we can clean up some of the area around the marina, get some trees cut down or whatever they can do to help us, the trees that are going in the river and are dead. I'm not talking about any live trees. Okay, so there are a lot of things that are going to be happening, and the most important thing is we're working on the budget, and Mr. Conboy is doing a good job with that. Is there anyone in the audience who wishes to be
Mayor,
heard?
excuse
Yes.
me, before you go to the audience, I forgot something else. Everybody here on the council tonight received greetings from the rec center except me.
What?
They got what?
Everyone received a card of greetings in the mailbox
Flyer.
from the rec center.
Flyer.
A flyer,
That's-
except me.
That's two of us.
Must be a reason?
Yes, I didn't get one either. I guess they don't like both of us.
You didn't get one either?
I didn't get one either.
Oh, I think I have one. I might, Frank.
So,
Okay, that's a
Okay.
nice sign.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. Thanks, anyhow.
if I get one, I'll give it to you.
Thank you, Mayor.
What does the flyer say?
It says, happy, it's a Christmas card.
Oh, it's a Christmas
There you
card.
go.
Okay, we got to stop this elaborate spending. It's one piece of paper just wishing everybody a happy holiday.
Humbug.
Thank you. Anyone in the audience wishes to be heard?
Mayor, one more thing, before you open to the public. On Lorraine's behalf, I just wanted to mention that Tom and I met, and Lorraine, with the people who do the ornaments for the town, take down, put up, and she negotiated a settlement with them for 3 years. Right, Tom? If you want, okay. Just on her behalf.
You know,
A little bit.
No, yes, I would, and you know what, I'm sorry, Mayor, I'd just like to add too, I missed it on.
Listen, you people can go home. We're still going to be
No,
talking.
I
I've tried 3 times, haven't I? I mean,
All right.
I can always feel that heat coming when my report goes on too long from the rest of my fellow colleagues up here. But I also too would like to thank Lorraine for all the efforts that she put in the last 3 years to the borough and everything that she did and working hard on with the decorations. So, you know, we're there.
thank
so-
you. Anyone in the audience
Hold
who
on,
wishes
Mayor,
to be
maybe I
heard?
should add something else for the last time. Everybody says thank you to Lorraine. When I collect most of the money from the merchants, I'm the one who went forward, and nobody recognizes me, that's okay. I've been used to this, and I told you that once before.
Didn't we talk about thin skin before?
Yeah.
Anyone in the audience who wishes to be heard? You see, you fellas carried it on. Bill was sleeping out there, didn't hear me the first time, he could have been out of here.
Bill Swin, Beach Street. You're not going home early tonight.
I wish you would,
No, I'm only kidding.
okay.
First of all, I'm a little bit curious about the last 2 pages of the notes tonight, 351 and 352. We seem to be having some trouble with the DPW. Can anybody elaborate a little bit on what's happening down there?
Yes, we did have a problem with one individual personnel, and we had negotiations with someone who was getting an increase because he was in the wrong title. He's a mechanic, and we had to back pay him.
But according to this, apparently the employees won their case.
Yes, he
It looks
did.
that way to me.
Yes, he did.
Well,
Yeah.
it was a settlement.
It was a settlement, you know, it wasn't a major thing, but we back paid him a couple $1,000.
Okay. Nothing major, just
No.
something that happens once in a
He
while.
deserved it.
It was coming to him. He worked in a different title, which was a higher pay. And he got his settlement for working in that job for a couple of years.
Okay.
And the other case was a settlement that we split down the middle.
Yeah, so it was a settlement, basically.
That was-
No winners and no losers. It was a settlement.
Everybody done?
Yes.
This is for Councilman Caremagna. Frank, sometime back, when you were before the zoning board and they asked if anybody in the audience wanted to speak, I came up and I sat down next to you, and we went over a lot of things. And I mentioned some things to you that I thought should be done in your building down there, and you agreed to everything. And I want to tell you right now, you exceeded those expectations. That building is beautiful. I mean,
Thank you, Bill.
you've taken Beach Street, and I think I was the only guy there that came up. Nobody else seems to care, but I was there. And you did a beautiful job there. You fixed that thing all up, and I'm very thankful for that. You did more than what you had to do, I'm sure of that. Now, one other thing. There's one little part in the back, Frank, that's still missing. Maybe you can get a couple of guys down there, and when I come out of the back, I look at that thing, you know, maybe you get a couple of
When he
guys.
saw the weather got bad, got cold, we're going to do that.
Okay,
Next
all
year. I
right.
have another $25 in my pocket.
Okay, but
I will take care of that.
it's appreciated. I don't know by who on Beach Street, but it is by me.
That's
It makes
okay.
the street look so much nicer.
No problem.
Now, secondly, I've never talked to an empty chair before, but I guess I got to do that tonight for Lorraine. Hopefully, she'll see this program here, and she'll know what we're saying. But we certainly do wish her a speedy recovery. I don't know what's wrong, but when you end up in the hospital, there's usually something wrong, a little more serious than a cold. But we wish her a speedy recovery. And secondly, Lorraine, you've done a beautiful job all year. I know we had our differences. When I didn't like what you thought, I said it. You counterattacked, so we didn't get along too well at times, but you did a good job, and I have to say, I wish you were here tonight so I could talk to you personally. I went around the town this evening. I'm talking about the whole town now, not just Market Street, but all the streets. And I've never seen such beautiful decorations in my whole life. This town is decorated up so beautiful, and people have spent a lot of money to make their houses look really nice. And it makes you feel like Christmas. And I know we're going to get more of that tomorrow because it's going to snow. But the town looks so beautiful. And I just wanted to mention that. I don't think the mayor and council had anything to do with that. I think individuals do that. So there is a lot of that Merry Christmas spirit in town. And it's really beautiful. Now, just one last thing. I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year before I forget that. One last thing. At the last council meeting, there was a lot of banging back and forth. The new council wasn't even seated yet. Now, I don't know who's right, I don't know who's wrong, it doesn't make any difference, but it would be doggone good if we could get a little more patient. Maybe that's what we need, a little bit more patience, whatever the case might be. And I'd like to see a little more unanimous cooperation from everyone. It would make me feel real good. I don't say that if somebody thinks something is wrong that you should keep quiet about it. I don't say that. But there's a lot of different ways to handle that. And I think you people understand that. Now, the political race is over. That happened in November. That's all over with. Now we got a new year. And hopefully, everyone here will get together and make the year 2009 a very good year for every one of us. It would be highly appreciated. I thank you for your time.
Mr. Schwinn, I would hope that the council would accede to your recommendation. As for myself, I'm a pussycat. I never get excited. I never argue with anybody up on the council, so you know you have my cooperation. Okay. I just want to tell Mr. Catamagna he still has to paint his yellow lines on his property for the fire prevention area. I know it's cold out, but that's got to be done too, and you're only allowed 3 trucks on the property. You said your term. I just know he's got a few other things he has to do. That's all.
Mayor, I only have 3 trucks.
Move that truck that's out there.
The big sign?
That big truck?
Yeah, but the big sign.
Nobody wants it.
You can't put a sign up on his property, so he parks the truck there. Anyone else who wishes to be heard?
Wow, it really is Christmas. Bill's handing out compliments. Mike Bufus, 14 Phillip Ave. Vice President of the High School Band Parents Association, also a member of the Theater Arts Parents in the high school. Friday the 5th, we had the annual tree lighting ceremony, which we found out at the school a month beforehand the date. I called Donna Pugliese myself, and I told her that's the same day as the high school play. I said, the students in the band get community service hours for performing at the tree lighting ceremony. Can we move the day? Well, no, because then if we go to the 13th, that's too close to Christmas. Now, most of you know, for the past 4 years, I've been an intricate part of the tree lighting ceremony. And we've lit the tree a week before Christmas already, 1 year. So I asked her to help the kids and move it. I'll look into it. Lo and behold, for the next week, the band director called the rec center. Could never get her because she wasn't there. Following week she called, no Donna again. I called, I got her on the phone, and I explained to her the situation again. Well, we can't move it. Well, you have 6 band members involved in a high school play. Be there about 2 hours. Had 6 students that lost 2 hours of community service, which is necessary time to graduate high school. They have to have X amount of community service hours. Her response to me at that point was, when I told her, you can have a very small band if any show up. Well, that's all right. We already made arrangements with the Girl Scouts to come and sing Christmas carols. So in my opinion, her response at that point was she already discounted the band from the get-go. Because I had asked her in the first conversation, did you ever check with the school system to see if anything was going on that would interfere with that? Was I supposed to do that, she said? I said, which tomorrow always did. He knew what was going on in town. There's a community calendar, there's a district calendar for the Board of Ed on the web. So at the last conversation, when she said, well, there's nothing I can do with it, she says, you have to talk to Jeannie. Now all of a sudden she bounced it onto somebody else. Now I know Jeannie. Jeannie called me up and I told her I couldn't help them out this year. But irregardless, how does she come up with an attitude like that, that she discounted the band right off the get-go? She made arrangements with the Girl Scouts. She didn't care if the band showed up or not. That was her attitude. Now, this is a woman that works for the borough. Anybody who calls her, whatever phone conversation you have with this woman, she is representing the borough of Elmwood Park.
Right? Just ask one. Can I just ask one question?
Let me, we've gotten excellent compliments. If you had a different situation develop with yourself, obviously Mr. Conboy would relate that to Ms. Puglisi, but we've had excellent comments about it. If the members of the band do want to pick up those 2 hours, they can do so with Mrs. Burke, my secretary, who runs the recycling program. We have cleanup week, and we didn't have anybody from the high school come down for the whole cleanup week. Well, it was Saturday. It's not a week, but it's Saturday. Well, so that would be.
I can't speak for every student in the high school.
No. I'm just saying if they want to do it,
that do have part-time
if they want to pick up their 2 hours, they can help out doing that. We'd appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm sure they would appreciate.
We'll tell Ms.
Supplies go out, but
and I'll apologize.
The thing is, I mean, I talked to her a month before the tree lighting, and she wasn't around for 2 weeks to answer a question.
Well, she had a problem. Okay.
She had a lot of problems lately since she's been hired, hasn't she?
No.
She was out 2 days last week, too.
No, she hasn't had any problems.
I mean, how many days has she worked since she's been on the payroll?
She's been...
She was out 2 days again last week.
You can check her attendance record. I don't think we should really discuss Ms. Puglisi in public.
Well, I don't want to discuss her, but my discussion is her attitude towards community service for the students now.
We'll bring it up.
I mean, she had a month to make arrangements, and she just dropped it by the wayside.
We did change the date once, I think, didn't we, Tom?
Yeah, we did.
We had to change it once.
13th was the very latest we could do it.
I suggested the 13th to her, and she said that would be too late. I said, we already lit the tree week before Christmas.
Mr. Buford,
but she never got back to the school to let anybody know.
No use hassling it here. We'll talk to her, and then you...
Yeah, I would like somebody to let her know, and I would like to know the outcome of it.
Right. And we...
So that I can, let these kids know that they weren't just dumped on.
Okay. Thank you.
All right?
Anyone else who wishes to be heard?
I'm sorry, Mayor. You folks come up here, and Mike, I respect you tremendously. Folks come up here.
Wait, let's not have him,
Excuse me, I'm sorry, Mayor. There was a rec meeting Tuesday night. There was nobody.
It's not on television. The rec meeting's not on television.
Mayor.
Could have come to the rec meeting and explained.
Michael, didn't I reach out to you when I heard you weren't being Santa Claus?
Yes, you did.
Okay. Now, I'm not going to sit here tonight and go back and forth on who was at fault or if there was any fault here at all. But I reached out to you after I heard you weren't playing Santa, when I heard that you weren't going to be there. I also spoke with both parties, and I'm satisfied with everything with every answer I came with. But what I'm stunned is, Mike, and you're very good at this, Mike. You're in town here. You go into the rec commission and see Donna. Everything's done by phone. Does our rec director have to check with everybody in town when she plans something? I mean, we all should work together. The band was there. They did a fantastic job. And here it is, folks. Bill, you talk about coming up and let's all grab hands and, sing Here Comes Santa Claus. Meanwhile, again, Mrs. Puglisi continues to be abused. And a bullseye was put on her head during the election by people that you supported and by Councilman Catamanga, who swears he had nothing to do with their actions, and I believe him. But, you know, constantly, you know.
Well, in
she's still-
response to me not being
she's-
at the rec meeting Tuesday, I had a Board of Ed meeting.
Okay, well.
So I'm on the Board of Ed, I have to be there.
I understand, but you come.
So I
here
couldn't
like-
attend the rec meeting.
I know you're a guy who likes to do one-on-one and get things done. I would have went in there and rang her doorbell and see what's going on.
Well, unfortunately, by the time I get home from work time, she's not there either.
Well, you can call her, make an
At the end of the day.
appointment. You know,
I get home from work 5:30. I don't think she's going to hang around till 5:30.
no, that's not, how do you know? Have you ever asked her?
She's there a lot of nights.
No, but
She's there.
I've spoke to her on the
She's there a
phone.
lot of nights.
She's there a lot of nights.
I mean, I've spoke to her on the phone.
She was
about
out,
3
you
times
know,
over.
the whole borough, a lot of people from the borough. Why aren't we chastising everybody else who was out for the whole week because they went to League of Municipalities? Our borough clerk was out several days, all of our department heads were out several days. I'm not picking on you, Keith, I'm sorry.
But the thing
I'm just
is,
making a point.
But the thing is,
that
if
a lot of
she's
folks-
gone if she's gone for a municipal business, okay, then shouldn't somebody else be able to answer or bring a suggestion to somebody or be able to contact somebody in her absence?
Absolutely.
At
Absolutely.
that point, nobody in the rec was able to respond to anything. They just kept telling the band director, she's not in, you have to talk to
Mr.
her.
Booth, if this I
But then
may-
she told me I had to talk to
Mr.
Jeannie.
Booth,
So it was
is-
like a flip-flop,
Yeah.
is what I'm concerned with.
If I may, in the spirit of unanimity and the spirit of getting along together, I'm going to ask for a motion to adjourn. We can meet with Ms. Puglisi, and you can be there and you can talk to her. It's the first time she's ever done it. I think she's done a good job. May I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mr. McLaughlin, second by Mr. Castiglia. Any discussion? Call the roll. Anybody else? I'm sorry, anybody else?
No, you did ask.
No, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.